Hi guys, welcome back to another daily tarot card. These are your daily tarot cards for Friday, July the 14th, 2023. Today we're pulling from the Deviant Moon tarot cards. So some of you may be like in your feelings, like reminiscing, like something may have triggered you to take back to the past. I am grateful for my life because, it's kind of like with TikTok. It's like you can't always get what you want by the Rolling Stones. And it's just like you get what you need. It sounds like a harsh song, but it's true because it's just like, sometimes we want people to be in our life, and it's just like the universe is like, well, we see things and hear conversations you don't hear. And I feel like conversations, it's like voice has been very strong this week. Like what you say, what people say, like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, that truth. This is where our head rocks in. Like, I've kind of been having two struggles this week where, like, it was our son's birthday on Monday. So this is where it takes me into, like, the Five of Cups energy. You know what I mean? Because my children have asked me years ago not to post them on social media anymore. I respect that, and I don't post them anymore. So their birthday was coming up, and I got a picture that was already on social media from, like, maybe 10 years ago, maybe like less than that. So I sat there and I posted because they're hams, like they make goofy faces and stuff like all kids do. So I was wishing him happy birthday, and I was looking at the old photos as one does. Like you go through your albums, photos you haven't looked at in years. So I love photographs. I'm just that person. So I'm going through the photos, and there's one of him and his dad, and I'm just like, oh my. And back then, those phones, quality cameras were like not good. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I could get this. I'm sure there's technology out there to get the picture in better focus, but I'm just like, it brings you back to that, and it's like how much you miss that life. You know what I mean? But it's just like I've grown and healed so much from this situation. You know what I mean? Where is like now I help others. Like, and it's an unfortunate part of my life that has come to the forefront. And I guess why it does is because it's like I could be that vessel for others to give them that hope, that I needed when I first started my journey. So it's just like, in my job, I come across people, and it's like this what poor woman called, and it brought me right back to when, like, Shane had passed away, and I was like, oh my gosh, we have an oil change book for this week, so I got to call and get that canceled. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna get up and do that. I'm like, they don't open till 9. I was up at like 6:30 in the morning because I couldn't sleep, and I call them, and I just fell apart. I thought it was gonna be such an easy call. I was, in shock, but it was just like I wasn't crying. So I'm like, okay, I can make this call. I'm good. And then as soon as I say, like, we're not able to make it, oh, wait, can you rebook it? It's just like, well, we can't because he's passed away, right? So it's like it gets you right into the situation. They're like, oh, I'm so sorry. They're like, oh, you know what I mean? So it's just like, I get a couple calls like that, and I'm like, I'm really sorry. I apologize to them, and I suggest the grief group that I'm in with Nancy and Ed Quinn, and how it's really helped me. Even now, I'm still a part of it, and it's like encouraging others and being that positive voice where it's just like, right now you're in shock and widow fog and anxiety and everything all at once, which is the worst thing to ever go through. But it's like a deep cleanse. It's like, how I read one time, and I have it in my passages that I have upstairs that I read, and I keep reading this one over and over again. It's like the first year or first couple years of my grief journey, and it's just like I just read those because even now it still resonates. It's just like, look how far you come. Like, look where you were and look where you are now. And it's just that reminder when, it's just like when things aren't going my way, it's like, the universe always reminds me I've been through worse. You know what I mean? This is like, even though things are not, looks like it's not going my way, it's like, I keep trying not to give up. Some days we feel like giving up, because the weight of the journey is a lot sometimes. I was watching Cat Williams. He's like, dear Jesus, this is your humble servant. I know you give the toughest situations to your toughest soldiers, but I'm just saying, my cup is runneth over, and I'm very thankful, but it's running over a little too much right now. It's like, I hate him sometimes. But it's just, it makes you laugh, you know what I mean? It's just like, that's what we need in life, is more laughter, It's just like sometimes we go through those journeys. It's like, oh my goodness, how am I going to get through this? And I always say, Yahweh and Yeshua are already there. They're saying overturning the government. Good Lord. I got to do Mercury retrograde forecast because I'm getting some potent messages. But it's just like, getting back to the cards here so I don't get off of subject here. But it's just like, going to where, like, the fighting is over. Me and my son have been knocking heads, and I'm just like, he gets bored, and he does stupid things. And I'm like, you're bored? Just like Tony Soprano. You're bored? Come find me. I'll give you something to do. I'm like, cut all the neighbors' grass. Their grass is almost up to my knees. Go cut all their grass. You want something to do? I'll give you something to do. King of Cups, it's like, don't forget to replenish your cup. A lot of the times we do forget that. We sit there and we work really hard, especially saying, like, instead of putting our energy into this emotional situation, it's like concentrate on, like, getting that coin or even grounding yourself. We always think of pentacles as like, oh, we got money, 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 money. But it also could be of a sense of like grounding yourself. Don't forget to fill your cup, Shane is a water sign, so it's like, King of Cups, So it's just like, so is my dad. You know what I mean? So it's like the type of people that are givers and wear their heart on the sleeve. It's like, the universe fills our cup, Other, with me, my kids make me laugh. They fill my cup in that way. Small little things, just sitting there and laughing. And it's just like, having a good time. This is where it's like, we're going into the Emperor, and it's like bringing that order and structure back in. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, I resonate with Chester Bennington so much with that, struggle in your head where it's just like, until you reach your higher self, realizing those thoughts have been placed in our head by other people around us because our light shines brighter, so they try to dim that light. And that's why these situations come around where people try to hurt us or break us. And it's just like, once you learn to tell those voices and those thoughts to shut the F up and realize who you are and what you're capable of, it's like you are able to distance yourself from it more and more. That's easy for me to say because I've conquered for the most part that part. Like when it comes in, I'm like, shut the F up. I'm just tired. Like that's why those things are coming in, Sleep deprivation or being tired or running yourself down is the biggest thing that leads to burnout. They're using is what leads to a lot of shadow thoughts as well. You got to watch that stuff. You got to care for yourself. Go back to the King of Cups. You got to replenish your own cup. You got to sit there and take care of yourself. Laundry don't get done today? Oh, well. You know what? Take that time. Nap. Your body needs a nap. Go nap. It's just like, you think that, I'm lazy or I'm this and that. It's like, you got to watch that language because someone has told you that once upon a time. You're lazy, you're this, you're that. That's their own insecurities. That's their jealousy. That's their situation, not yours. Going to our higher self is the biggest thing, like that full moon energy. And it's like, like I feel something building up towards Lionsgate that's going to be a change. You know what I mean? But it's like, you got to sit there and worry about yourself sometimes. You know what I mean? We take care of everybody else. Queen of Cups is here, that nurturer. We got the Empress, we were talking about green energy, so our heart chakra, you know what I mean? Heart is, green is also money. So people that are driven, people that will not just lay down and accept things as they are in life are driven, they're driven to change the situation. You know what I mean? We got to watch that sometimes because like, even with myself, it's like, yeah, I'm driven to change the situation. But at like, sometimes it's like, you got to shut up and listen to the universe. It's like, you're being, driven, and it's like you want to change the situation, but sometimes you don't see for things for what they are, Like, on the other hand, I feel like this, not, I guess, longing, but it's just like when you are infatuated with someone, I guess is a better word. It's stronger than like, but not love. And it's like, you get butterflies in your stomach and stuff like that. It's just like, logically, like, it's not a good situation, logically you would go in and get your karmic debt, you know what I mean? Or it's just like seeing things through rose-colored goggles, you know what I mean? That is a hard one, to sit there and be like, I know this is not a, where your moral compass comes in and you're just like, or leading with your head instead of your heart. Because our heart, it's like, You can think, especially if you're like my age, you know, I'll be 43 this year, and it's like, you know, you could go back and it's like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't date that one or that one, you know. It's just because you think that you are not anybody unless you have a partner in your life. And it's like, no, you know what? Being alone is your biggest strength. You know, being in yourself. Being strong enough to be like, I enjoy my company. I enjoy doing the things I want. More money in your pocket, you know. It's just like, you know, less emotional strain, you know, less stress, you know. So it's just like you think that, you know, those are the things you want. And then, you know, and you overlook those, you know, certain things because you're just like, you know, this is what you wanted all your life. And then they say those words they can't take back. And it just shows you exactly the truth of the situation. They don't see you as valuable. They don't see what you do. You know what I mean? So it's just like when they tell you that, believe it and take it to. That's their shadow side, but and their insecurities because, you know, down the road, oh, you don't need me no more because you can do this and this and this, and I'm like, that's not the reason I'm with you. I'm with you because I love you. You know what I mean? And that was the, you know, and I see us as a family unit. Anything I do is for the family, where everything he did was for himself. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you know, and it's not to say like, you know, to diminish, you know, relationships or anything like that. It's like the right person will come along. I know for some of us, oh my God, it feels like forever. We're getting there up in age and da 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 da. But don't let that be like, you know what I mean? It's like the way that I see it is like it'll be well worth, because I don't want to sit there and enter something that's just going to be failed again. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you know, I could have been with, if I would have waited, I could have been with the right person. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, sometimes it feels like it's a good fit. I'm grateful that it woke up feelings in me that I never thought I'd feel again. But, you know, especially when you get butterflies in your stomach and stuff, they're like, oh no, the right person will make you feel that way. And it's like, you know, I don't know about that, you know, but I don't know about that saying. It's like the right people will make you have butterflies in your stomach. And I'm like, I don't know about that. I feel like you feel nervous around them because you're excited to see them, you know, and releases endorphins and stuff. You know, and this is where it's being the Queen of Cups. It's like you fill everybody else's cup, you know. We don't have time to feel these feelings. We don't have time to, you know what I mean? It's like feel them, but it's just like, especially I feel like, you know, exactly what they said. It's like we've healed beyond that. You know what I mean? In these journeys, it is just, or I've experienced this before, where it's just like, you know, I thought it hurt not to be with this person, but it's just like at the same time, it's like the more you see, it's just like, now I can see why. You know, you don't hear the conversations, you don't see their actions, stuff like that, you know what I mean? So, it's, or maybe they need more than what you can give them, you know, and that's the thing. It's like, we don't see those things. So, that's where it's like rose-colored goggles, you know, if you actually, you know, cut that, you know what I mean? Rose-colored goggles, but it's just like seeing things for what they are because you didn't give it enough time for everything to reveal. And the more that you reveal, the more you're like, oh, you know what I mean? So, it's just like sometimes you think you want it in your life, but then once you get everything, you're just like, oh. And that's like, you know, usually we'll be in the thick of it, you know? Usually we'll be like, oh, we're in a year into the relationship, and now I see everything, and you're just like, ugh. You know? But now we're living together, we got kids, we got this, we got that, we got commitments, and, you know, and you're just like, oh. You know? So it's like, that's where you go through these experiences in life and you get, you know, older in life and you're just like, this is why I shouldn't have done those things. Because now you got the experience. And I feel like that's where the King of Pentacles comes in. It's like, ground yourself. You know, especially because it is an emotional situation, you know. For me, I feel like it's like, we need to move past this because we can be using this energy to maybe concentrate on coins. I've been getting some great ideas. So it's just like, you know, instead of being in that kind of energy, let's sit there and, you know, let's do some videos. Let's do something productive. You know what I mean? Let's put that energy elsewhere. Let's go take a nap. You know what I mean? It's just like, let's recoup our energy so we can put it out more into other things. I just think the biggest takeaway from this is like, yeah, we filled our feelings. Sometimes things will trigger us. You know what I mean? But don't forget to fill your cup. You know, just because something happens one day doesn't define everything for the rest of our life. You know, and we get caught up in our feelings. But the biggest takeaway is like, it didn't rock you to your core to the point of where you were out for a week, out for a month. You know what I mean? It's like you're taking care of yourself. And that's the biggest thing. Get your rest and rejuvenation. Fill your own cup. You know, let the universe fill your cup. Say, biggest thing for me is asking for help and receiving help, but also receiving gifts is hard for me. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I always jump to the people that hurt me, and it's like, well, what am I going to have to do for this gift? Quote unquote gift. You know what I mean? So it's like, for me, I don't accept nothing, you know? So it's just like, I got to work on that, because, you know, it's just like, it's like, I always go to that shadow side. Like, oh, what do they want for this? You know, what do they expect for this? You know, but you take care of yourself. You know, it's a marathon, not a race, but, you know, be grateful that, you know, you are in a position to help others, that you could share your tale. And that's why I always give context to my videos. It's like, I totally resonate with this, where it's just like, you know, you get caught up in your feelings, but it's just like bringing that order and structure back in, where it's just like, you know what, but the thing is, you've moved on past this. You know, you're able to fill other people's cups. You're able to share your story, and others can be like, wow, okay, that resonates with me as well. Yeah, I do help others. So maybe I'm not, you know, even though it feels really deep down, it's like, I still have things to concentrate on. Usually there's only 2 cups standing. We have 3. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. It's like, you know, even the ship, it's moving on. Oh, I love the fact that it's a Viking ship. But that could be a sign also of better things coming into our life. You know, ships in water is usually something coming out of the blue, you know? But we have movement is the biggest thing. You know, emotional situation, we have movement, you know? It's telling us to go to our higher self, you know? I haven't gone to the other side of things. My feelings have been woken up, but I haven't actually been in a relationship, so I can't speak to how that would be. But, you know, when the time is right, you know, that's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, we feel that void there because we're used to having someone there every day. But you know what? It's just like, you know, it makes more room for Yahweh, Yeshua, Divine Creator, you know, Gaia, Mother Earth. You know, if you're blessed to have children, you know, fur babies, whatever it is to fill your life, you know. So it's just like, you know, it's the way that we look at things. Our perspective has changed. So I hope you guys enjoyed these daily tarot cards for Friday, July 14th, 2023. May the universe bless you good. Have a safe and happy weekend. We'll see you for the next daily tarot card. Bye.